Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 378. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
What is going on, good sir?
Well, another week in the books. The hottest week so far, I think,
Oh
of the
my
year up here.
God.
It was brutal.
It is. I am not designed for the heat.
Nor am I, yet I've lived in all hot climates.
You do,
So
yes.
I don't know.
For
I don't
someone
know what
who's
I'm
not a
thinking.
fan of heat,
I
the
know.
states you've decided to go into.
I know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
But
Thankfully, the beauty of central air.
that is true. Oh my gosh. Well, I have a little air conditioner. Arizona, I heard, was wicked the other day, like 115 degrees. Like I think people were
Yeah.
exploding.
Yeah, like 115 degrees there. There was news of like 125 in the Middle East. It's,
Oh,
it's just crazy, crazy numbers already. And it's only June.
hot dog. Well, it is the first day. Well, it's past, but the first day of summer was a couple days ago.
Ah, yes. And this is why I stand by, my old tried and true mentality of stay indoors.
We got to get out there. We got to move. We got to shake.
No,
We
no,
got to do
no.
things.
You can just move and shake your Wii controller or your Switch controller, whichever it is you're playing.
If
You'll
only.
be fine.
I don't use my Switch controllers. I always use my Pro controller, and there is
Oh,
no.
okay.
Oh no, there is gyroscopic whatever in there.
Break out your VR. And no, I'm not talking about the Virtual Boy.
I just saw. I wish. Actually, I just saw. I literally just saw something this morning about people. Someone posted something on X. They were like, "Is this still a thing? Like the PSVR, the first
Hmm.
one? It might go the way of 3D. Who knows?"
It might. The VR2, they stopped production on it because they weren't selling.
I think. Oh yeah, and Apple is. I think they've stopped already thinking about their next Apple Vision 2. So this whole craze might have been
Mhm.
quick, even though what do they call it? What's Facebook's the Oculus? No, not
Oculus.
Oculus. Is it
Meta?
Oculus? No, Meta
Um,
is the company.
Meta's the company.
I think it's Oculus.
Okay.
That is like the only one that's kind of holding strong right now. But I
Yeah.
feel like that's just more because what's his face Zuckerberg just doesn't want to just hates defeat.
Yeah, probably. I guess right now the world is not ready to live in Minority Report or Ready Player One. We'd rather stay in the real world, which is
Right.
okay.
Yeah, sometimes. So, all right, so let's get right into things right now. And we got some great stuff to talk about. There was a couple of directs, well, if you want to call them directs, that hit the internet this past week. A lot of good games announced.
Yes,
But first, let's talk about, some stuff because I got a couple things that came in. I think, Ant, you got a couple things came in.
I did.
So, yeah, talk about your stuff first.
Okay, I'll talk about my stuff first. Well, this one came in yesterday. You actually warned me that it was on the way because
Oh, you
this was
got it
a
already.
yeah, this was a Kickstarter. You got the digital edition. You got the digital copy of it, but I got the physical copy of the Super Mario Collection book.
That's huge.
Yeah, well, it's a hardcover.
No,
So
but I
it's
didn't
a
think it was that big.
Oh yeah, no, full on
Wow.
hardcover. Just really cool. Oh, it comes with I gotta send you a couple of these.
What is it?
So
Oh,
it's got bookmarks,
awesome.
so which are really cool. So you got Mario, what is it? You got red Mario, you got a blue Mario, and you got is Luigi? Green Luigi? I
Yeah,
guess
I'm trying to figure out what the blue is.
I
Yeah.
don't know what the blue one has a mustache, so I'm thinking it's Mario.
Just
So
another color.
yeah, just another color. But anyway, and it goes with the cover of the book, obviously,
Of
the blue
course.
cover. So this book, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's literally just a guy's collection of Mario merchandise over the last 40 years. So it's just visuals, but it's really cool to see everything in here. Like here's a copy of the Wii.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
and then let's see, just going through. Oh,
You know,
look, a sticker from the Super Mario Brothers movie
oh, nice. Look, oh, Yoshi.
with
Look at Yoshi.
what looks like a dinosaur.
That's Yoshi.
Yeah, it's a terrible Yoshi.
Wow, how dare you? Poor Yoshi got
That is
stabbed
a
in that movie.
terrible looking Yoshi. I have never seen this before. I have no idea what this is.
That's like what is that? Yeah, that's
I
like
have
a
no
small
idea.
Rob almost.
Yeah, it looks like a rock. Maybe it was some Famicom. Oh, it is the Nagatanian medical supply robot from 1986.
Yeah, you're in the hospital. No offense. If you're in the hospital, the last thing you want to see rolling up to you is Rob the robot.
Yeah. But it's Super Mario version of it.
This is true.
So
This
they
is true.
actually themed it Super Mario version. So anyway, really
It's
cool
probably a
book.
children's hospital.
Lots of fun stuff in here.
Yeah,
Um,
I got to find, I'm sure I got the email on it because I got the PDF version of the book. So I got to find that email now.
yeah,
But
definitely
glad you
fun.
got it.
Sorry. Definitely find the email of it because it's just, again, it's a lot of cool pictures you don't have to read.
That's right up my alley.
Very important, not reading.
Very
So
cool.
really excellent.
Excellent.
And then the other thing I wanted to show off, and this was really nice because Jonathan from Capital E-Recycling,
Yes.
he came by to visit over the weekend because he wanted to try out the Polymega. He was curious about whether or not he wanted to get it.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, come by, try it out, see what you think.
Yeah.
So he came by, he tried it out, absolutely loved it, and told me he's buying all of it now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so he's buying all of it. He's very sold on the Polymega, which is great. So, but he also gave me, which was really, really nice of him, he gave me a housewarming gift because I
Oh,
recently bought a home. And I was floored. I was absolutely floored by what he gave me because we've talked about this on the show, and I do not have a copy of this and always wanted one. He's the only person I've ever talked to who likes this game as much as I do. He gave me a copy of Clock Tower on the Super Famicom
wow.
in box.
Look at that.
Yeah, so this was never released. There was never a US release of this. It was only in Japanese on the Super Famicom. Did not come out on the Super
That
Nintendo.
is, oh, and it
So,
looks
oh,
amazing.
it's beautiful. I haven't even opened it yet. So, but it's in like when you buy these from Japan, they put them in a hard plastic case
Yeah.
to, keep them pristine. So we'll just open this up
That's
while
a
I'm
heck of
here.
a way better than my housewarming gift for you.
But you didn't even get me a housewarming.
How dare you, sir? It's hanging up by your door.
No, I know it is. So here's the game.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, still with the plastic on it. Here's the
That is
instruction.
pristine. Look at you getting your fingerprints all over everything.
I know, I'm just ruining it. Here's the instruction booklet that I can't read. Not bad for a game I can't play, but no,
No, of course.
absolutely beautiful. There's nice.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So really cool. Super thankful to him.
Yeah. Hey, John, I mean,
For-
I moved up here a couple years ago, Jonathan. I mean, hey, it could use some
No, I think you have to move up to this area. You have to be in his neighborhood.
pristine Famicom
So
games.
no,
Very cool. That
absolutely
is
amazing
awesome.
gift. So thank you, Jonathan, for that. And then the last bit, I'll just bring this up since it did happen. But I had a house guest over a few days ago.
Those
Jack,
pests.
yeah, they are terrible. I tried fumigating, but unfortunately, Jack still came through the door. But Jack came by and we were, came by to hang out for the night. We were talking games and stuff like that. But he also brought me something that I've wanted to add to my office area for gaming, for retro gaming specifically. So he brought me a nice 32-inch Sony Trinitron. So
Wow.
I now have a CRT to hook up all of my original consoles to when I want to really retro
Oh,
game.
wow.
Yeah. So
Did you thank
really,
him
really
for
cool.
did you thank him for the future hernia you're gonna get for having to move it around all the time?
Oh my God. Well, first off, the thing weighs like 200 pounds. Like no joke, 200
Legit,
pounds.
I believe you.
Yeah, it is heavy. And getting it down the stairs was fun because he's like, "How are we going to do this?" And I have this big piece of cardboard because I bought something. I bought like a new desk or
Mhm.
a new stand for the TV. And I told him, I said, we'll put the TV on the cardboard and we'll slide it down the stairs. And
Smart.
he was so adamant about it. He's like, that's never going to work. He's like, the cardboard's going to break. It's never going to work. I said, trust me. I go, instead of us breaking our backs carrying it down the stairs, let's just slide it on the cardboard. And he's just sitting there shaking his head at me. I said, no, trust me. Slid it down the stairs with the cardboard. Everything was fine.
Better than rolling it down.
Right, exactly. I told him, I said, carrying it, I go, we're going to drop it. I go, there's no
Please,
question we're going to drop it.
please tell me when you had to make that turn, you said pivot.
I did not. I
Oh
did
my
not,
God. And you
actually.
being the Friends fan that you are.
Jack doesn't know that reference.
Doesn't matter. You just do it for yourself. It's all about
Here.
you. Screw
Pivot!
Jack.
Pivot!
Pivot. Even I know I don't watch Friends and I say pivot. Every time I help someone move.
Well, because you have to pivot.
Exactly.
I was too worried about the TV to remember.
And again, the pending hernia.
Depending, yes, of which I've already had one. I don't need a second
You
one.
and me
So
both, brother.
yeah. So
I was
that
7 when I had mine. I still don't know how I did it.
oof.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
honestly.
crazy.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, next thing I remember, my parents were like, all right, we're going to the hospital. I was like, why? Why am I
Because we're
going to
gonna
the
because we're gonna get you some ice cream.
No, oh my gosh, I was treated like a prince when I got out of the hospital.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, the amount of toys I got, holy cow.
But yeah, did you pick up anything this week?
I did. One thing I picked up actually from the Nintendo online store.
Ooh.
And it was very cool. They were doing it. It was a sale with the you gather platinum points and gold points on the Switch.
Hmm.
And the platinum points you get just by doing things like logging on or playing a quick game or something. So with that, they had every once in a while they have a sale where you can buy something just on platinum points. I mean, you gotta pay for shipping, but whatever. But you buy for platinum points. And I got this series of what do they call these things? Uh, these postcards,
Oh.
and there's 8 of them. So, and they're legit postcards. Like you can mail them if you want
Oh,
to.
that's really cool.
So we got Mario Party 2,
Nice.
Super Mario 64,
Very nice.
Legend of
Uh,
Zelda. Maybe I'll write you a letter.
Beautiful. Yes, send me a postcard.
And Pokemon Stadium, which I thought was an odd choice.
Nice. Okay.
Those are the first 4. Then they have these tiny Game Boy Advance ones. Look how tiny these are.
Oh my gosh.
So we got Kirby's Dream Land 2,
Okay.
Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins,
Nice.
Mario Kart Super Circuit,
Excellent.
and a game that we're going to talk about later. Oh, no, actually, a game in the series, Metroid Fusion.
Metroid Fusion. Very nice.
Great little cards. And again, you can write a shorter letter on the back.
Yeah. Well, just to go back to what you said about the Pokemon one makes sense because Pokemon is such a popular, franchise.
No, I get it, but then like, these are Game Boy. Oh no, these are Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance. They're just they are Game Boy Advance. I hear you. You're right.
Yeah. But no, I would have thought they would have done a Pokemon one for the Game Boy.
That's what I was thinking instead of like
That makes
Stadium.
sense. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh well.
What would have been your 4th then on the N64?
For N64, and it would have to be, of course, a Nintendo one. I probably would have went like I would have deep dove and went F-Zero, F-Zero
Ooh.
X.
F-Zero X.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't
I know.
they don't really like to promote F-Zero very much, even though they came out with 99.
Now, which is fun. I still play it
Yeah.
every now and again.
Hmm.
And then I texted you on this when it happened.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into more. Well, we're not gonna get into it because we already did it, but we did the Game of the Week premiere again every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. Like, subscribe, share. Please share with everybody.
Yes.
And it was Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. So as I talked about last week, I was thinking about trying to get a copy, not the North American version. I don't make that much money, but a copy of the Japanese version, Rockman 5, because it's Super Game Boy compatible. And it's the 30th anniversary of the Super Game Boy. So after we were done recording, I ended up ordering a copy from Idaho. After I ordered it on eBay, it said the estimated delivery was going to be Monday. Actually, tomorrow from when we record, 2 days from now from when we record.
Yep.
So I was like, Monday. All right. I already ordered it. So it's eBay. So it is what it is. So I ended up recording, as you all saw, from the Nintendo Switch Online version of Mega Man 5, which still is awesome. Great copy. Had fun playing it. But as I was going through it, I was like, you know what? If my cart's coming Monday, then let me get through like half of Mega Man 5 now. I'll get the code, and then I'll do the other half, which I'm going to do on the Super Game Boy. So there will be a bonus Game of the Week, Mega Man 5 Part 2, that will drop at some point. I haven't decided when, because I still got to record it.
Right.
So, all right, so Monday the cart comes. Like, as soon as the premiere ended, I get a message from eBay saying, your order was just delivered.
Nice.
So here's Rockman World 5 for the Game Boy from Japan. And I could have easily done this recording fully on the Super Game Boy and debuted it on Friday. But nevertheless, we got
Well,
through half of it.
I was gonna say it's nice to see it's nice to see the difference between the
Right.
two. So good
So
purchases.
thank
Good
you very
purchases.
much. Thank you very much. And after the week that we had, or the week that was seen, it's purchases are there's going to be a lot possibly coming up for purchases. Let's get into this, shall we?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here.
So let's start first with Xbox. I think that's going
Yes.
to be a good place to start. So
Excellent.
as of, I want to say July 29th. Yeah, as of July 29th,
Mhm.
2024, the Xbox 360 marketplace is going to sunset.
Yes.
So you'll no longer be able to purchase any games on that system.
Hmm.
It
Bummer.
happens. Everything ends up having to go away. They can't
Yeah.
keep the servers open forever.
Well, it's two consoles old as well. Like,
It is. It lasted. Yeah,
yeah. So it hung around for a long time.
definitely lasted.
Almost, is it almost 20 years?
What when
Maybe a
the
little less.
Xbox, maybe whenever the Xbox
Uh,
360 came out, possibly.
yeah,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
that up
sure.
really quickly.
So now keep in mind, just something I want to throw out there. Even though the marketplace for the Xbox 360 is sunsetting, it doesn't mean that the backwards capability on the Xbox Series X is sunsetting.
Right.
So a lot of these games you can purchase because of the backwards capability. You can purchase a lot of these straight from the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X.
Mhm.
So that part's not a problem. But we're going to talk just some. We're just going to talk about some. There are some games that are exclusive to the Xbox 360
Mhm.
and digitally exclusive as well. Like there were some of these games back then, there wasn't a lot of let's do digital and physical releases. Top tier games, absolutely. But there's a lot of digital only games that came out that once this thing goes away at the end of July, it's going to fall into that category of once it's gone forever.
Yeah. And just a quick heads up, Xbox 360 released November 22nd, 2005. So we're talking 19 years.
That makes sense.
That is a
That makes
long
sense.
lifespan. Now, the games that you're talking about that are on the 360 that will sunset, they're not available on the Xbox One or the Series X.
No. What I'm saying, it's the marketplace itself.
You're talking about the
The
marketplace itself. Okay.
marketplace. So you won't be able to purchase games. Like if you need to re-download something, that's still going to be available. That's even
Right.
still available like on the Wii. But this is the availability of purchasing these games. And there's a lot of games that just aren't backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X and Xbox One. So
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what everyone's kind of clamoring to. I
Okay.
don't I don't have a list. There is a list out there of suggestions of games that that will disappear once this goes away. So there are some gems, but in an effort to I don't want to say support, but I guess almost like a going away present,
Hmm.
there are some, not a lot, but there are some companies, well, maybe one company, really, because now that I think about it, there's really only been one big company, Capcom,
Hmm.
has made an effort to actually deep discount a lot of these games on the 360
Yeah. Big
to
time.
the point where they even advertised it themselves on their social media, which is I think is very cool.
No, I think it's awesome because again, and they're not game the Capcom ones are games that you can get on other consoles, but if you want it on the 360, and not only that, but if you want it at a very affordable price because you don't have them. I mean, you're talking
That's
what are
the
they
thing.
like 90-95% off, something like
There are
that.
some games, yes, there are
Yeah.
some games that are up to 95% off. And some of those
Wild.
games, and again, a lot of these games have been remastered. So again, you have to take it into consideration.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, 95% off I'm not saying these are Capcom, I'm just saying these are top tier games. The
Yeah.
Evil Within, Red
Hmm.
Faction Gorilla, Metro, if only. Metro
Hmm.
Last Light and Metro 2033, Dead Island,
Hmm.
Mighty Number Nine, and that's just some of them.
That was like that Mega Man ripoff, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Rip off. How dare you? An homage.
Ripoff.
Some other games as well that just I'm trying to get my hands on right now. The Bionic Commando. There was a remake or a remaster of Bionic Commando
Mm-hmm.
Another one called Bionic Commando Rearmed that are right now like a buck 49 and 99 cents
Yeah.
respectively.
Rearm 2 as well.
Yeah, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dead Rising games, again,
Yep.
the 360 versions,
Yep. Both
that
90% off.
Devil May Cry series as
Yep.
well. As you get into it, some of the Resident Evil games, actually almost all the Resident Evil games on this system
Yeah, I thought that was great.
are on sale. Need for Speed, again, I'm just looking through for Just Dance fans, you can get a good discount on those. And a couple of amazing Space Invader games that came out later, like
Mm-hmm.
Infinity Gene.
Yep.
So very
A bunch of the Lego games too.
those are always on sale
I know, but
though.
they're all I think they're all 75% off on
They
here.
are. They are.
So I mean that's a pretty still that's a good discount.
No, it is. So bottom line, oh, there's a 50% off. There's a Mortal Kombat arcade collection. That's the first three arcade Mortal Kombat
I
games.
was looking at that. I was
Yep.
like, ooh, I was like tempting. That
Yeah, I
one's
think
tempting to me.
I might have that on the PS3. I gotta double check.
Yeah.
So
There are a couple of Tomb Raiders on there. Worms games.
the Batman Arkham series.
Yep, the Batman series, which is on every system imaginable, though.
Exactly. Again, you can find these elsewhere as well.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure.
if you're cheap, like us, this might be the way you want to go.
Not cheap, cost effective.
Now, in the last couple of days, been desperately trying to purchase games now because when the 3DS shop closed and when the Wii U shop closed, I don't think I did it as
Mhm.
much when the Wii shop closed. I don't think I really was thinking about it. There were no heavy discounts. I mean, Nintendo never expect a discount from Nintendo anyway.
No.
Nintendo first party games, I always buy day of, unless we're like 3 weeks away from Black Friday. Then I can get it for like $10 off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, Nintendo's more like, buy them for wholesale, buy them for the whole price, right? Buy them for full price because once they go away, we'll just release them on the next system for full price again.
They sure do, and we're going to talk about that later.
Yes.
But again, they just never, they weren't offering anything like that. The same with PlayStation, like on the PlayStation 3, even though that
Mhm.
marketplace is still available, there's a lot of games on there that actually there's some games they've already taken off, but there's some games on there that really probably should be discounted for the PS3, but
Mhm.
they're not. But it is what it is. There's certainly some games I bought hearing when stuff like this happens that I bought at full price just to try and get my hands on. Like a bunch
Yeah.
of Wii games I bought for the Wii U digitally, like Metroid
Mhm.
Prime Trilogy, Other M, I think a Sonic game. I forgot which one it was. So it's just cool to see this discount. And I am desperately trying to get my hands on the Bionic Commando games, especially
Mm.
Rearmed 1 and 2. The problem the last couple days is magically the billing system on Xbox for some reason is not working properly.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I don't know why, because it is a hump to have to put your credit card information because I don't know why it's not carrying over my information from the Series X. It's all the same account. I don't
Yeah,
get
it's weird if it's all one account.
So to type in my name, my credit card info, my address, all on the 360. And I have an older controller, obviously the original 360 controller,
Mhm.
that I just noticed squeaks every time I use the D-pad.
Nice.
That's fun. And then I get to the very end and it goes, oh, sorry, error cannot complete at this time.
You should get one. You should get the little keyboard that
I
for the
used
controller.
to have it and I
I
don't
think,
know where
yeah,
it is.
I think I used to have one too.
I had one for the 360 and I had one for the PS3.
I had one for the 360 for sure.
I definitely had one for 360. I had one for the PS4. I don't remember. But yeah, no, I had those little things. And if I can recommend any one of these games, I would recommend because it's 90% off right now. 1942 Joint Strike.
Mm.
Great.
You love those top 10 shooters.
Oh, I love them. Wow, chef's kiss. I
Hmm.
already have it on the PS3 because you'd be like, well, if you're trying to get Bionic Commando, why not recommend that? No, 1942.
1942.
Yep. So go check them out. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you bought any of them.
Yeah, very cool. Like I said, I might have to turn on my 360 and just flip through because those might not be the only ones on sale. Like they put a lot of the ones that have a huge sale, but there may be other ones that are also on
Oh,
sale.
agreed. The only problem is it's not like Xbox is advertising it. It's not like when you go on the marketplace on the Series X and there is a
Mhm.
section for discounts.
Yeah.
No, you'd have to like go into each one and check.
Mhm.
And the service is slow. So
Well, it's 360.
but nevertheless,
It's been a while since that thing was made.
it has. So go
So,
check it out. Very cool stuff.
all right, awesome.
Speaking of purchasing, though, we had a couple of directs, showcases, whatever you want to call them.
Hmm.
Holy Hannah.
The one, yeah. This is the one that's going to break you, isn't it?
There is going to be some money dropping soon.
Yeah, it was wild,
Let's
actually.
get let's get right into it. And let's start with Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. Okay, so I'm always of a mind that like I'm more of a PS5 player than I am a Nintendo player when it comes to gaming, like just daily gaming. I'm like, but when it comes to like single player games, like the single player first party type of games, Nintendo always delivers for me.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I break things up. I don't do as much online multiplayer type of stuff on Nintendo. We do Mario Kart every once in a while and
Mhm.
stuff like that, but for first party, Nintendo seems to be the one for me because again, a lot of the stuff that comes out on PS5 and on like Xbox Series X, whatever it is, we always feel like, when we always feel like the games almost are like, I don't know if they're too cinematic or too advanced. It just there's something about them that doesn't grab me the way a Nintendo game does. And I honestly I can't explain it fully. It just doesn't have the same appeal. And it doesn't, some of these games that come out, they don't exactly have like 40 years of history to them.
Oh,
Or,
no,
you know.
you're exactly right. I think it's just us enjoying this type of gameplay.
Mhm.
We've said it many times. We're like aging ourselves out of some of these, not all of them, but some of these newer games. Do we want to sit there for 100 hours try and complete a game, or just
Mhm.
sit there and have fun with a game? But
But well, I'm okay with 100 hours, Tears of the Kingdom. So been there, done that.
well,
I
some
think
of us like
double,
to waste our time. Yeah.
well, double that. Um, so so looking at the Nintendo Direct, I mean, right off the bat, there are I don't know, at least half a dozen games I saw on this Nintendo Direct that I'm interested in. Easy.
And to your point, and Nintendo is the king of doing this. Why not just remaster and re-release old games? And we got what, one, two, three, four. I won't count up. About maybe four, maybe five games that are like this,
Oh
where they
yeah.
just picked it up and really. And I feel like we used to be. I don't want to say the word bitter, maybe not bitter, but we used to be frustrated. I think when Nintendo would do this, they would always put out
Yes.
their HD. But I think as time went on, and I won't speak for you, but I will. I feel like I think we kind of realized that even though, yeah, we remember the originals, we grew up with those, and it almost to us was like, that's a cheap way out, Nintendo. But there's a whole generation that wasn't around when these games first came out. So
Correct.
now it's available for a newer generation
Mhm.
to play these games. And for us, the nice new shiny coat of paint also helps as well sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and you can also add to that a lot of like Nintendo also banks on like a lot of people don't necessarily hang on to their old systems the way that we do.
True.
A lot of people, it's like, oh, it's like the Switch came out. I don't need my Wii U anymore. I don't need my Wii anymore. And you trade them in, you sell them, you donate them, you just get rid of them. And then
Donate.
all
What?
and then all of those games go with it.
I
So that's where the appeal is for a lot of people too, where it's like, oh, I remember playing that game 10 years ago. I liked it. Oh, but I got rid of my Wii U or whatever. So now I can just buy it again.
I remember vividly when I got the Super Nintendo, my mother, like, I didn't even get the box open yet. And she's already like, all right, well, you got the new system. You don't need the Nintendo anymore. Let's start selling those games. I was like, what?
Mhm.
Wait a minute. And guess what happened? I sold those Nintendo games because
See?
who? Oh, I love you, Mom.
I remember hanging on to mine.
I had no choice.
Except for I remember hanging on to mine until Funko came out. And then Funko taught me the art of trading in and also taught me the art of making very little money on my trade-ins.
Different ball game back then. I regret
Oh
the
yeah.
only thing I ever regret selling back was my PSP. Beyond
Okay.
that, I don't regret selling back anything else before that because I at the time I was doing it, I didn't think of it. I was just thinking of, all right, I don't need this anymore. let me trade it in for something else, or I need money, let me trade this in for that.
Right. And that makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, there were never any consoles I regretted trading back because I don't think I traded back that many, if any, but it was some of the games I traded
Oh,
back that I wish I still had.
you know what? I do have another regret, actually. I regret trading back only because I traded them in as upgrade. Well, let me not say regret because, again, at the time, I was fine with it. You know what I mean? The PSP, I literally made a conscious choice like, I don't need this anymore. I don't think I'll ever play it again. And that was like a couple years ago. So that I
Mm.
upset. But for a while, I was trading in Game Boys for the next system. Like I
Oh,
traded
right.
in my Game Boy Advance for the SP, which you can see right there.
Yep.
So I don't have a Game Boy Advance anymore, which is
Oh,
very much annoying me because there's no Game Boy Advance in this little,
that little section.
yeah. Also I traded in all the DSs for the next one. So
Oh,
I don't have my original, and I went and trust me, I hit every rung on that ladder. DS to like DS Lite, DS Lite to DSi, DSi, DSi Lite, so on and so forth. Not counting the 2DS. So but now getting back on course, because I completely forgot where I was going with that. Nintendo Direct with some of these games that are coming out. Let's get right into it. First, let's talk about some of the games that are being re-released, remastered, however you want to call it, reimagined,
hmm
not reimagined, remastered. The first one that was already, and this has been mentioned already, and it's dropping this week, I think. I think it drops this week that we record. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yes. Well, they've been talking about this one for a while now.
It's been
So
announced maybe for about a year or so, maybe a little
yeah,
less than a year. This is the remaster or remake, whatever. I feel like those terms are almost interchangeable sometimes,
at this
sometimes.
point, yeah.
Of the 3DS version, Dark Moon,
hmm
which is the true sequel to Luigi's Mansion. But now you can have all three. No, wait. I always forget. Is the first, no, the first Luigi's Mansion's not on
GameCube.
Switch. No, I know it's on GameCube.
Oh,
They redid it for the 3DS. I'm sorry. Let me
uh,
lower that. They
they
re
did.
Yeah, they redid it for the 3DS.
Yeah.
So, but I
And
heard
by
this
the
week.
way, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, June 27th.
Okay, cool. And I'm hearing a lot of positive things about this. Like where they not just remade a 3DS game, but they made this for the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
hearing good stuff about that.
I still got to finish the first one on GameCube.
Yeah, me too. I have to go back and play that.
Yeah.
A couple of new what does it say? Yep, remakes. I didn't know they were doing this. Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I thought that was an awesome bit of news.
HD 2D remake, and for some reason, Dragon Quest 3 is coming out before the remake of Dragon Quest 1 and 2.
Yeah, I wonder if they just got delayed on 1 and 2.
Maybe. And
So,
1 and 2 will be together, like it's one
yes.
game. So let's see. Let me just before we hit the big one, well, not the big one, the big one for this category. I
hmm
don't think there were really any other remakes, if you will, but probably the biggest one in this category, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yes, a game on the Wii that I never played.
And this, again, this goes into like, hey, this is now the opportunity for you. And this is a great game.
Oh
I
yeah.
am pretty sure I have it on the Wii. They remade it on the 3DS
Oh, okay.
as Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, which is a very fun version, playing it in 3D. And now we're getting it back on the Switch. So very cool opportunity for those who haven't played this before. If Donkey Kong Country is a tried and true
hmm
platform, what's the word I'm looking for?
Platformer.
No, 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 no. Like
Side scrolling.
nope, nope, nope. It's a math term. Uh,
It is a math
it
term.
is.
I do not
Wow.
know what you're looking for. Isometric.
Nope. Oh well. Tried and true thing. That's what I'm gonna say. I can't think of
Tried
the
and true. Oh wow.
what is the
Okay.
word I wanted to think of. Oh well.
Oh well.
Formula. 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 It is a
Okay.
tried and true formula that worked well with these series, and I'm glad to see this one come back and playable. And I really do hope you get your hands on this.
You had to dig for that word.
Oh man, that my head hurts.
Well, wouldn't you also consider, to a degree, the Nintendo World Championship NES edition kind of a bit of a remake?
I was thinking about that, but
Yeah.
not really. If it was the way that you were hoping it was going to be, then 100% I would say yes.
You mean like the Kickstarter one that got pulled?
Oh, that is fantastic. I love going back and watching that when we did that.
It's funny.
So no, I wouldn't consider because it's kind of newish. So, and the games aren't really fully playable because I always love whenever they air that trailer, you always see the little warning on the bottom or the disclaimer on the bottom. No full games are included in this series
Yep.
because
Lest you forget.
one person dressed up in a Superman costume for Halloween and tried to fly, and now all the costumes have to say cannot fly when you wear this costume. And that is a
Uh,
true story.
yeah. Well, people are people.
People are people. Who's saying that?
I don't know. Well, who did people are people? Who's saying? Is that Tears for Fears?
Sure, why not?
All right, I think it was.
So yeah, so those are the games that are getting some remakes and whatever you want to call them. But let's talk about some of the new games because we are gamers. I know this is the retro gamers, but
Mm-hmm.
these are new games that are coming out or collections. We'll
Mm-hmm.
save the collection for last. I feel like that's really the biggest one.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
most excited about.
Uh,
Well, second most excited about that.
Correct. So let's go with some of the first party, actually mostly first party, just we'll talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Yes.
Great game in the Mario and Luigi series for anyone who's played that on the Game Boy Advance, the DS, the 3DS. Great series of games that actually have its genesis, no pun intended, in Super Mario RPG. That's kind of where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a brand new game that is coming out for the Switch, and I'm looking forward to this one. This looks, I've always loved those games.
Which is
It's
cool.
an RPG.
Yeah, it's an RPG, but yeah, and I've obviously never played the
Mhm.
original ones because I never played the handheld. But there was a little part of me secretly hoping it's like you just released a remake for Super Mario RPG.
Mhm.
Give me a sequel. I just want a sequel. Can I have a sequel,
This
please?
is kind of like a sequel. Not really, though.
No, not
Not
really.
really.
Not really. I need Gino. Maybe not Hollow so much, but I need Gino.
Well, I'm just happy this is a new game because when I first saw the
Yes.
gameplay, I knew what it was. I was like, oh, they re-releasing Superstar Saga again or re-releasing it. But no,
Hmm.
this is a brand new title, so very cool. And if you have Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, you can actually play the original Superstar Saga on the Game Boy Advance. Another game that is coming out finally after I think about 34 years in development from when they first announced it.
Yeah, something like that.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yes, long time. I want to say it might officially be somewhere around 7 or 8 years.
Maybe a little no, maybe. I feel like right before the pandemic, so maybe a little less than that. But it
Oh,
has
is it
been a
less?
wicked long time.
Okay. Yeah, it
But
was no, it had to be. I feel like it was even before that because when I went to the Nintendo World Championship thing in LA,
yeah. Well,
they were talking about Metroid Prime 4. And I want to say that was like 2017, 18.
I feel like oh no, here we go. No, it was yeah, you're right. It was first announced at E3 2017.
There you go. See?
Okay. Yep. So it has been
Yeah.
that long.
So you're
Good
talking
God.
7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a long time for a game to gestate.
Yeah, honestly. And in my head, when I first started seeing the gameplay, I'm like, oh, good. All right, they're remastering Prime 2 because I need to get to that. Well, I still need to beat the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is finally Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So coming out in 2025. So we still got more time.
Yeah.
We still got more time to go. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, Rich is very happy.
He's very happy, yes.
Yes.
Because it's funny because when he messaged in the chat and he's like, oh, did anyone mention Metroid Prime 4? And I'm like, no, sorry. And then like 30 seconds later, yes, we have confirmation. Beyond, we have a title.
Yep.
This next game, and this is up your wheelhouse. This is a game I know you're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have mixed feelings about it.
Uh-oh.
It is the brand new Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Yes. That was the one that made me most excited. It really did. I love, me with my Zelda games, but not only that, but we're getting a kind of an old school style Zelda game that I thought Nintendo said they wouldn't be doing anymore. So I'm really excited because when they did Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, there were interviews where they're like, yeah, we don't see ourselves ever going back to like the older version of Zelda because this is like now the definitive way to play Zelda. And I'm like, that's great. I was like, but you can do both. And so when they announced this, I'm like, see, I was right. You can't do both.
Clearly a swerve, I think.
Yeah, yes, it was. So I really like the idea of following the that Link's Awakening remake look
That's what I
to it.
wanted to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's be specific. I mean, if it went old school 8-bit, that'd be wicked.
that would have been cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yes, this is in the vein of the Link's Awakening remake, how that looks. And when I first started when the video first started playing, I did think that we were getting a remake of the original game.
Mm,
And then I'm like, why is Link drowning in something?
yes.
So in this game, not for the first time, but maybe for the first time for the general public, or if you have revisionist history, you are not playing as Link. You are playing as the titular character, Zelda.
For the first time ever. Yes.
Yes, basically.
Where the CDI didn't happen.
Yeah. Um, how do you feel about Zelda finally getting her props and the spotlight?
No, I mean, I think it's great. She's been in a lot of the more recent games, she does have more of an active role in them. They're
Okay.
not, she hasn't been the damsel in distress in a while. If you look at the
That's
current games,
true.
like Breath of the
100%. Yeah.
yeah, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like she plays a very, very active role, even though you don't play as her.
Okay.
So I think it's great that they're finally giving her the spotlight. How many times can Link save her? It's about time she needs to save Link a little bit. So, Link can get in trouble too. It's all right. Not every hero, always wins wins the day.
In
So
Nintendo, they do.
yes, they do ultimately. But
Like
this time Zelda gets to step up. He's finally turning around. He's like, oh, you got all these magic powers and stuff. You do
you do. And that's the thing that concerns me. So it's the gameplay. So this game, it's not Zelda is using what do they call it? They call it echo. I think it's called echoing.
it.
Basically, she doesn't pick up a sword and shield and just start hacking and slashing away.
Right.
She has this wand, and
The
she
Trirod.
that's what it's called, Trirod. Okay, and she creates copies of items, and they say like there's a ton of items that you can copy,
Mm-hmm.
and once you copy an item, you like save it, I guess, in your inventory, and then you can create it at will, essentially,
Yep.
kind of like Solomon's Key. This is basically a remake of Solomon's Key.
No, it's not.
But it's not a straight up puzzle. Like it's not puzzle boards, but you
Mm-hmm.
use that puzzle aspect in fighting. So I don't know. I gotta see how when more comes out. Hopefully a demo comes out because I definitely want to see how this plays out more. Because I'd rather just go in there with a sword and shield and just start chopping heads off.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this kind of new gameplay to it?
I think it's interesting. I don't want to pass judgment on it because it's different, it's new. And so every other time I've kind of passed judgment on, oh, how is this going to work type of thing. It's
Like
always seemed to work out really well.
the Wii?
Well, no. Okay. So the Wii didn't work out so well for me.
How dare you? Oh, for you, yes.
For me, it's in it like that like there are a couple of systems where I was correct with my own personal experience, the Wii being one of them. And then one I was absolutely correct, but the whole world was with the Virtual Boy.
Don't.
So
Don't.
no, it's true. Absolutely true. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to work. I actually think it'll be an interesting dynamic and like a change to the experience. So
Okay.
yeah, so I think it'll be fun. Did you also know that a limited edition gold colored Nintendo Switch Lite with the Hylian crest will arrive as well?
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah,
I
that'll
feel
be cool.
I feel like every time a Zelda game comes out, so does a Zelda themed Switch system.
Yes, that's pretty much the norm at this point.
How many Switch systems do you own?
One.
Oh, how dare you? You're not a fan.
No, I can't. I can't drop $300 or $200 every time oh, look, a new version.
You're a better man than I am.
Yeah, yes, I am.
So there are a bunch of other games. They showed some more of the Nintendo World Championship NES edition.
Yep.
We're getting a basketball update for Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yep.
And a ton of other games on there. You can check them all out. But this is the one I want to talk about, and then we're going to head over to the other one. This kind of came out of nowhere, and there's a couple games in here that are going to be worth the price of admission. Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Yes. 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 1,000 times yes.
And this is coming out on everything.
Yeah. And we're getting it all.
So it's got, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Steam, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
7 fighters, 6 fighters and a brawler are in this
Yes.
collection. And do you have the list in front of you?
I have the list in front of me.
Go
You
for it.
are getting, or we are getting, X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, The Punisher, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
See,
The
I
definitive.
think we differ. Which do you feel is the bigger title seen as collection, The Punisher or Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
See, I thought The Punisher,
Why would you think The Punisher?
because I'm pretty sure that
It's
arcade
never
version of
been.
The Punisher has never been released.
I don't think it has been, but Marvel Capcom 2 is so iconic.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so iconic that I feel like that's the bigger moment.
It's what I had it. The definitive home version was the
We're talking about The
Dreamcast.
Punisher, right? Dun, dun, dun. This is
There he
not
is.
this is not the same game.
No, no, it's not.
Not by a long shot.
So I'm checking right now. Did it come out on home? Oh, you know what?
I do not recall.
It came out on the Genesis. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Punisher was a port of the arcade.
Oh, well, there you go.
Interesting.
All right. So then it has been out. So Marvel Capcom 2 is the bigger one.
I guess so. And the Genesis version apparently was a commercial failure.
Oh,
Interesting. Well,
that's
all right.
sad.
Well, I stand corrected on that. But in any event, yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the definitive home version was the Dreamcast version.
Yes, by
And
far.
that was actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that was the first game I remember going, this game is now like a lot of money to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, it was the first one that hit like triple digits for
Yeah.
like a resale value.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the only version on the home console that you could play the original 3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
I had the PlayStation 1 version, which was only 2-on-2.
2-on-2.
Still a great game. Had many a tournament in my dorm in college.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Pokemon Puzzle League and GoldenEye, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PlayStation was like the go-to game that we played obsessively in college.
All right.
So to the point where someone, I will admit this, someone did beat me. My neighbor was like prolific at this game, and he kicked my butt royally, and he was blindfolded.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
He was good.
So either he was really good or you were that bad.
A little column A, a little column B. So, all right, so besides Marvel vs. Capcom 2, is there one that you're really looking forward to in this collection?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I really love the Marvel Superheroes game.
Okay.
Straight up Marvel Superheroes game. So that one will be fun to play.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Children of the Atom, I actually still have my original copy on PC.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
So, but I never play it because it's on PC.
See, it's a tough one to play on PC. This is now you can play it on a console. Yeah. I stand slightly corrected. I don't think it's coming out on Xbox right now. I don't see it listed on the official website. And what I don't understand is online, there's up to 9 players. What game is a 9-player game?
I do not know.
Does one of them maybe have a tournament mode?
Maybe.
Tournament mode. It's got to be. Something's got
to be a tournament mode of some kind.
Okay, and then there's going to be a bunch of new features and everything, so you can check it out at capcom-games.com. You can find the official site. But yeah, this, like Ant said, this is a day one purchase.
Oh, for sure.
Well worth it.
Definitely looking forward to that.
All right, so Ant, is there anything that might have been a winner for you for the Nintendo Direct?
Well, I thought I would bring up one last one before we do that, but Super Mario Party. We're getting another Super Mario
God, how
Party.
did I forget about that? Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Yep.
If anybody knows what a jamboree is, that is a lot of people at a jamboree.
When you have a jamboree, you definitely so Super Mario Party Jamboree, what I like about this one is we're getting 7 boards, which I don't think they've ever done before. Normally I think it's like 4, maybe 5.
Especially on the ones that have been on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly. So there are going to be 7 game boards, 5 new ones, 1 from Mario Party 1 and 1 from Mario Party 2.
Yes, those Mario's Rainbow Castle and Western Land are returning.
Western Land, yes. So, and if I remember correctly, the Western Land board because Jack and I actually just played it when he was here. The Western Land board, there's a stop on the board where you can pay 20 coins and all the characters have to join you for a jamboree.
I did not know that. That
Yes.
should be quite
So
interesting.
it takes all the characters to that one location. So,
Oh, wow.
but so you get seven, so you got 7 boards to choose from, which is
Mhm.
great. 110 mini games, which is excellent.
Amazing.
And I think they're all new.
I believe so. I mean, there might be some returning. Well, they always throw in some
Throw in a
classics.
couple, but for
Yeah.
the most part, they're going to be all new. And then the biggest thing about it, which I thought was really cool, is there is a 20 player multiplayer mode. I'm assuming online, obviously.
Yes, online.
Online multiplayer mode. That to me looks like it plays a little bit like Fall Guys.
Yes, and they're calling it a Koopathon.
Yeah, Koopathon, however you want to say that.
Koopathon. Yeah,
Yes.
20 players. I mean, good God.
Yeah, 20 players.
I
That's a
think it's
lot of
like
people.
5 rounds or something.
Yeah, so that's going to be really, really cool. Definitely looking forward to that game.
Yes, this looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. And now to get back to your question.
Yes.
The winner for me out of all of these is always going to be a Zelda game. So Zelda
Mhm.
Echoes of Wisdom is the winner for me.
Okay.
Marvel Capcom is a close second.
You know what? With all of the first party games being announced and stuff like that, I'm going to say, and Funko Fusion aside, I'm going to say Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection was my biggest moment.
Okay. So not
Yep.
Hello Kitty.
No, not this time around.
All right. Maybe next time.
And be remiss to mention we got 4 new updates to the Classic Collections online, actually.
Oh, yes, we
Yes.
do.
So on the Game Boy Advance, you can now play Metroid Zero Mission
Yes.
and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past plus 4 Swords.
Also excellent.
Great game.
I really
Great game.
enjoyed Four Swords. Four Swords was a surprisingly good game.
4 Swords, you're talking about 4 Swords Adventure on the GameCube.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's such a good game, so innovative because especially if you're able, and I know you didn't play like this, and you really
Yeah.
it only really works if you have multiple people playing.
Right.
Where if each of you had a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP, you can play that game because when you go into a cave, it goes onto the Game Boy Advance and you play from there for a little while.
Yeah.
So that was very innovative. But that game came about because of Four Swords multiplayer. There he is. Too late.
Where were you when we were talking about Stray?
Too late. Go back and sunbathe or whatever you're doing.
Oh,
Hibernating.
now he's getting attention.
So yeah, so those 2 games, and then they have in a new app, I guess you want to call it, Nintendo 64 Mature 17 plus.
Oh boy.
This is Nintendo trying to, they're doing their duty, I guess, to protect the children.
Yes.
They already did this over in Japan, but now we're doing it here. So it's going to be for basically mature games, rated M games, which I don't remember one of these being rated M, but nevertheless, that one's going to get Turok, the first one, and Perfect Dark.
Nice.
And those are available right now if you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack.
2 very good games.
Oh my God, 4 really very good games altogether.
Well, 4,
Game Boy Advance. So.
Yes.
All right. So that is the N64. Let's get into, we're not going to fully deep dive into this one. I don't think we might, who knows, but Limited Run dropped a
that's right.
Which I gotta say I was okay with.
You were just okay. So you're not buying everything?
No, not
okay.
only because of that, but because, again, where is my Rondo of Blood? You announced it a few years ago to come out physical on the PC Engine CD. I'll even at this point take, you know what? We lost the contract. We're not doing it. I'll take that. Just give us something.
Maybe it came out without them telling you.
That's a strong possibility.
It may have like just snuck out. So
Limited Run announced a lot of games. There is some stories online where some of these games might be physical only, which some of them doesn't make sense to me to do that, but we'll see as time comes out. But this one really hits home because, again, this, like Nintendo, but this is really bringing back a lot of old games to be playable in today's day and age.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if there's anything you want to point out specifically. I was just kind of going to run through some of the highlights, I thought.
You can go highlight.
Right.
I'll point out 1 or 2 maybe.
Recently re-released Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. which is originally from the PlayStation 1, is getting a physical release. That's what they wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that's a big one.
A gorgeous premium edition. It's coming out. Physical release for Valis, the Phantom Soldier collection. Is hitting the Who's Whatsies, the shelves. And I just want to see if there's any other ones that they announced, just like, hey, look, we're getting a physical release now of it. No, everything else is kind of newish. So some of the ones that really stuck out to me, these are newer games that are coming out. G.I. Joe, Wrath of Cobra.
Yes, I saw that.
This is one of the ones that I read was physical only. And that's what I thought weird, because this is a brand new game.
It is a brand new game. If it's physical only, then
yeah,
more power to it. Then I got to get that.
I think it's kind of weird, but nevertheless, and this one plays in the vein like we talked about of Shredder's Revenge and the just announced what we announced last week. I forgot the game that Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yeah.
So that's coming out. Fighting Force collection is going to be released on all the modern systems. That's from Square Enix. So Square Enix.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes. And I didn't know this until I watched the showcase. Fighting Force was originally supposed to be Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, did not know that at all. Cool. So we're getting both games coming out for that. Let's see what else we got going on. Come on, talk. Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2. Yeah, great series coming out, hitting Switch, looks like mostly on that one. We're getting a brand new Snow Brothers game, Snow Brothers Wonderland.
I saw that. That looked exciting to me.
Assault Suit Lanos 2 Saturn Tribute coming out in 2024. The Saturn Tributes obviously are games from the Sega Saturn.
Yes.
Of all the ones I've bought so far, including Elevator Action Revenge or Returns. Great. They did some great work on those. They just pop and they look like they're straight from the Saturn. So great version of those games. We're getting a sequel. Gimmick 2 is coming out this year.
Ooh.
A physical release of a game that I actually played a demo of. It might still be available now. You can download a demo of it. And it's from some of the creators of some of the Sonic games. It's called Penny's Big Breakaway.
Yeah, I saw that one and I was like, I remember this one.
Yeah, it's very cool. 20th anniversary of Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, that one I was actually excited about. And that one's coming out like this week.
It's coming out June 25th.
Yeah.
We're getting I don't know if this is it might be a remake. Hitman Blood Money Reprisal is coming out this fall. Fear Effect is coming back next year.
Fear Effect's an excellent game.
Again, a new version in the vein of Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Shredder's Revenge. I love this. I cannot wait for it. Toxic Crusaders.
Yes, I saw that.
I cannot wait for that.
Kind of shook my head when I saw that one a little bit.
They mentioned again the Gex trilogy is coming out. Shantae Advance is coming out. Your Clock Tower is coming out, of course. Toomba 2.
Clock Tower Rewind.
Toomba 2, yes. And then and a lot of people are like, why? Which we all ask that question when they release Bill and Ted. But with a wonderful tease going, are they physically releasing GoldenEye 007? Nope, we're getting Bubsy, the perfect collection.
Oh, yes.
I was never a huge Bubsy fan.
I was not a Bubsy fan. That wasn't.
If they can only include Bubsy 3D, then it's going to be worth the price of the whole thing.
Well, then there you go.
That game was a clunker.
All right.
And then they released a game I'm looking forward to personally because I'm a fan of theirs, Jay and Silent Bob, Chronic Blunt Punch.
Yes, I saw that there. The only other one I would have mentioned was Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I passed out. I apologize. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus.
The New Colossus also on the list. Yeah.
So, So they got this thing called Carbon Engine. That's what's allowing them to do these old games for modern systems because you can't just port it over.
No.
And then finally, how can I forget about this one? I've always eyed this game because I've always seen it in the store. I've seen it online. I think they've pulled it since. Lollipop Chainsaw.
Lollipop Chainsaw, yeah.
Originally for the Xbox, but now coming out on everything. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop coming out this summer. So now's my chance to get a hands on this. That always looked fun. So some cool games. There's other ones as well listed. But again, Rondo, just mention Rondo of Blood. Just do something about Rondo.
They can't mention Rondo of Blood if nothing is happening.
They can just say we're still working on it. Like nothing is announced.
No, nothing.
So they're gonna get on my crap list again pretty soon. They don't step up their game.
For a limited run.
Whatever. So So those were the two big gets, big directs, big showcases. Let us
Mhm.
know what you thought of these showcases. Let us know, if any of these games popped for you, what you're looking forward to, and where can they hit us up?
You guys can hit us up on Facebook.com/Retro Gamers Podcast, on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast, on Twitter at Retro Gamers Pod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube and Spotify at Retro Gamers Podcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
X. All right, let's move on to
XU.
game of the week.
Game of the week. All right. It was my choice this time.
It was your choice, for crying out loud.
It was my choice. And since it's now officially summer, right? First weekend.
Oh, it sure is. I'm already sweating bullets. You might be
It
able
is
to see it on the
officially
video.
summer, which means it's party time for a lot of people. I thought it would be fun
Is it?
to.
Not for
It's
us.
supposed to be. I don't know. I don't know. We're old and we work. But for younger people, maybe it's party time. And I thought a cool party game would be worth revisiting, especially
Okay.
one that I used to play a lot
Oh, yeah?
when I was younger. And Larry knows this very well because he had to play it as
He
well.
did. I saw a lot of it, too. Holy cow.
You did. So I chose Buster Groove for the Sony PlayStation.
Nice.
So, music genre game. Basically, the whole idea behind it is a dance-off. It's you versus the other person, and whoever busts out the best moves wins, wins the round and moves on. So
Whoever busts a better groove.
whoever busts a better groove. Very catchy songs, all original, if I'm not mistaken, for the game itself.
Maybe. Not 100% sure on it, but it sounded original.
They all, well, some of them definitely felt original. Other ones could have been, could have been borrowed.
We'll
or
find out if
licensed.
we try the. I was gonna say we'll find out. I apologize. We'll find out when we go to the gameplay this Thursday.
That's very true. Yes, we will when YouTube says you can't play this song. And one very iconic recording superstar who is in one of the tracks. So we'll probably get hit for that one.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
So, Larry, since this was my game of the week, you get to talk about it first.
Yes, so I will, for 100% clarity, I don't own this game, and I could not for the life of me find a local copy of the game. So unfortunately, I was unable to play it, but that's okay. Game of the week just doesn't mean that we both get to play it. It's really for you guys and gals out there to play. So hopefully you got to play it. But I do remember sitting in your living room watching you play this game ad nauseum. I've tried it a few times. And of course, I went on YouTube and I checked out some gameplay as well. The music, very catchy.
Yes.
Music is super catchy. The gameplay itself, it's funny. I forgot. It's more not in time with the game, like Dance Dance Revolution, where, you got to hit it. It's well, I guess it kind of is. You play to the beat. I do love those games, and I have had some games like that. One of the games in particular, this is not my game of the week, this is not my choice, but a game that I love that played like this is Elite Beat Agents on the DS, which also has one of the most, if not the most depressing game level of all time. But I digress. So, playing to the beat, I really wish I was able to play this because I definitely wanted to see if I still have the reflexes. That is what I think the problem with this game is, and a lot of these games when we get older, is our timing with our reflexes might get shorter and shorter.
Oh yeah, there's no question about that.
But it looked visually stunning on the PlayStation 1. The only thing I don't remember because of time, and did you ever end up getting the North American version, or did you always have and just have the Japanese version?
So the first game I have the North American version.
Okay.
The second game, I only have the Japanese one because the second one, like, kind of came and went. Like, it came out and disappeared really quickly in North America. So it's one of those rare games that's really expensive. Yeah, but I still have the Japanese version.
All right.
That's the second one. Yeah.
Excellent. So unfortunately I can't talk too much just about the physical gameplay because, like I said, I haven't played it. I'm still going to look for it though. I hopefully it's not too pricey because I would like to own it anyway, just to have it as a collection. But I just do some of the fondest memories of just sitting back and watching. We probably ordered Prontos. We had the pizza there, just chilling out, probably waiting for some other people to show up so we can play No Mercy or NWO, WCW NWO.
Yeah.
And when you did though last week, I have to admit, and you might have seen my face get a little giddy last week on the recording because when you first started kind of hinting at what your game of the week was, I thought you were going to go Pa Rappa the Rapper
Ah, yes.
because I'm always looking for an excuse. I've never played it. You played that game all the time,
Yes.
and it is available right now on the PS5 through the PS4. It's almost like
Correct.
I wouldn't even call it a remaster. They just redid it and threw it up there.
Yep.
And I was going to use this. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I'm kind of waiting for it to drop in price a little bit. But I would have used Game of the Week as an excuse to pick it up right away.
Uh,
But I did not. I
I
did.
I didn't think of that.
I did try and search the PS3 though for Buster Groove. If it was on there, like a PS1 classic, it was not. So, like I said, unfortunately, I couldn't play it to give you a modern take on it. But I do remember fondly the game, the music. I don't remember the famous musician that you mentioned that you hinted at.
Oh,
Maybe I did. Maybe again, just might have been just because I'm 44 now and I just don't remember.
uh,
But Ant, how did you feel getting back to this game that you loved and cherished?
yeah, well, it's such a great throwback for me to play it because this is one of those games like this game and Mario Party to me were like two of the games where not only did we play it ad nauseum, but like this game, my younger sister really
Oh, did
enjoyed
you?
it. So
I didn't know
like,
that.
so we would play it all the time. Her friends would play it all the time. So it was just a great, fun social game. So going back to it just kind of brings back all those memories and makes me smile. So that's why this was like this was a great pick for me to go back
Oh,
to.
that's awesome. I love that.
Isn't it?
It really is, because God forbid you get sentimental on this show.
I don't like to, so it's not my style, okay?
Ah,
Just not my
fair enough.
style.
Fair enough.
But anyway, playing through the game, again, for the PlayStation 1, it has a limited roster of dancers that you can choose from. I believe, there are 10 that you can choose from, and then there are two bosses in the game. One's
Mhm.
hidden that you
Oh,
can
really?
actually unlock. Yeah,
Okay.
Capoeira, who are
Oh,
alien twins that you play against. And then Robo Z is the final boss. I don't know if you can unlock Robo Z. I can't remember, but I know Capoeira you can.
okay.
So going through the game, I played through it. You'll see it on Thursday,
Hmm.
which will be great. But what I like about the boards is that every board had a specific theme. So in other words, like if you picked Kitty End is performing in a television studio. If you picked Hero, who's dressed up like 70s disco, you're doing a dance off at a disco, and so
Hmm.
on and so forth. So like, Shorty is a kid and it's at an amusement park. So like I thought they themed a lot of them really well,
Okay.
which was kind of fun. The grown woman dressed up like a baby, maybe I find a little questionable, but um I believe her name was Kelly. So like the boards are
Yes.
all themed, and then the music, and then every character has almost a different genre of music. Like I feel like almost every song
Hmm.
is different enough. So you're not just saying it's not just all like, oh, these are all like dance remix types of things. Like there's a rap version, there's kind of there's an R&B remix type of game,
Hmm.
type one. So I feel like they hit a lot of different genres to keep it fun and interesting.
Okay.
And then all of the characters perform different dance moves. So it's not like you choose, everybody's doing the same move.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought that, so I thought
Not
that,
a
so
palette swap.
yeah, exactly. So I thought that was really cool. The mechanics of the game, like Larry said, you have to hit the button by the fourth beat, but you
Hmm.
have to put in the combination of directions before you get to the fourth beat. And during the song, you get two different choices
Hmm.
as you're going along. One's an easier choice and one's a more difficult choice. And then there's a secret option if you know them.
Really? I didn't know that.
During solos, there's
Oh,
a
wow.
secret third option that if you know them, you get like extra points, which
Oh,
is
wow.
cool. So all in all, like just really, really fun. It's 12 stages.
Hmm.
Again, very simple game. You play through it, it's 12 stages. You go through every character and the two bosses. And then when you win, there's a short animation at the end of the game. of whatever happened, about whatever happens to the character after they win.
Hmm.
So just all in all, really, really fun, very colorful game.
Oh yeah, it's very pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, it's very colorful. It's very fun. And it's one of those games where, again, it's not like a super serious game. You can get through it in maybe half an hour,
Hmm.
half an hour to 45 minutes, depending if you lose. I will say my reflexes going back to this game are not what they used to be.
Oh no.
Yeah, definitely not what they used to be. I did struggle with
Okay.
with it a bit. There are like I used to play through it and I would get perfect on all of them. I would never
Hmm.
miss a beat. I would always get fever time, which was a bonus if you scored a certain level.
Hmm.
Needless to say, I did not do that. But all in all, like again, it was just really fun. It made me want to pop in Bust a Groove 2 as soon as I was done getting through this one once. I really wanted to pop in the second one to play. So it still has the same effect on me that it did, almost 30 years ago now
Awesome.
when I got it. So very, very just just all in all, just really, really fun, really pleasurable. I highly recommend anybody who hasn't played this game. It's just a fun game.
Yeah, watching it, I never owned it originally. Well, I didn't have to because I was over at your house.
Yeah, exactly.
But I definitely am interested in checking this out. And just to go through, officially speaking, the different dance styles. Like you said, every character has their own dance style. We got breakdance, West Coast hip hop, gangsta walking,
Mhm.
Detroit modern, candy hip hop, soul bump and grind.
Hmm.
What else we got? House, Motown, disco, and jazz.
There you go. Yeah, they do cover
They
a
do.
lot of genres, which
And
is
there's a fourth hidden character named Burger Dog.
oh yeah, Burger Dog. I forgot
Yep.
about him. Yeah, he's on Ham's board.
Yep. Yep.
He's behind the fast food counter.
Hamburger. Exactly. So
So
very cool. And who was
oh, it's
the
Michael Jackson.
he what you know what? And I'm not trying to be a jerk, so please forgive me. I'm on Wikipedia. What did
Yep.
he do in the game? Or was he just not credited for
No,
anything?
no,
But
no.
just
The song "Too Bad"
okay.
I think he's this part of it because he has a song "Too Bad" and
Yeah.
they actually use a piece of it
Okay.
in the
Okay. So
track,
something was sampled, I think, as the kids call it.
sampled. Yes.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah, he did a lot. Forget about
He
Sonic
did
3.
he liked video games.
He sure did. We're gonna leave that alone. All right. So Buster,
Michael.
what was I like Little Mikey? What was that movie? Oh well, I can't
I
remember right
don't know.
now.
I was quoting Moonwalker.
No, no, no. I know. I can't think of the stupid me. In any event, very cool game. Excellent choice. Buster Groove.
Yep. And
So
now it's your choice.
it is my choice. And
Yeah.
in honor of, I'm not going the way you think I'm going to go. In
Oh
honor of the
no.
new Marvel vs. Capcom collection that's going to be coming out later this year,
Hmm.
I'm going to pick a game that specifically I'm going to play the Genesis version of. I
Okay.
believe it might have came out on Super Nintendo as well. Captain America and the Avengers.
Oh, wow. Well, you have a choice. You have Super Nintendo, Genesis, or NES.
That's right. It was on the NES.
It
Do
was.
I have it on the NES? Wait a minute. Well, I
Uh,
definitely have it on the Genesis. So that's the one I'm going to be.
I have a copy of it too, and I think it might be Genesis as well.
All right, cool. Well, again, whichever copy you have, I mean, if you can, try and go with the Genesis, but Captain America and the Avengers
Nice.
is this week's game of the week.
Very good choice. Very, very
Yes.
good choice. Actually, why should I play it there when I can play it on my X-Men Arcade One-Up cabinet?
It is on there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, if you can only hook that up
That would be awesome.
to the TV, you know what? Just set up a camera and play it. See what
Just set
happens.
up a camera and play it. Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. You know, we might have another bonus game of the week video.
There you go.
And programming note, don't forget, at some point, I will drop part 2 of Mega Man 5 on Game Boy via the Super Game Boy. Because
Yes.
I had so much fun playing that. I forgot how good those games are. So,
They
but
are good.
nevertheless. All right, let's start to wrap this up. And we got some news.
We do. We have some retro news for this week. Okay, first thing to talk about. Larry, I know you're a fan of this because you have it, I believe, on your Xbox. Antstream Arcade.
I have it on my Atari VCS.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have it on that garbage. Never mind. Um,
But it is on Xbox, yes.
yeah,
Xbox
okay.
Series X, yes.
So Antstream Arcade announced last week that their app, which contains over 1,300 retro games, will be launching on the iPhone and the iPad June 27th.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
June
Yes.
27th. Thursday, June 27th, Antstream Arcade drops on the iPhone and the iPad.
I am in on that. Perfect.
I know you are.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go. The
So many good
service
games.
is $4.99 per month or $39.99 for the year. So,
Okay.
or
Um,
though, well, at launch, limited time at launch, $3.99 a month or $29.99 for the year.
I'm hoping I can just log in with my account.
Yeah, I would hope you can just carry it
Because
over.
if you have it on Xbox, which I'm telling $80 a year for a lifetime subscription on that is well worth it. Absolutely
Yes.
worth it. But yeah, because actually I technically have a free account that still works on the VCS and on my
Oh,
Mac. So I wonder if I can log in.
hmm.
But nevertheless, to have those games on the go,
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait for that. All right, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I've yet to pull the trigger on it, but I like because I keep debating on where to go with it, but I think I should get it on Windows because if I can put it on my Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, it's just the app. I mean, it's just the
Yeah.
website, really. Oh, they might
Yeah.
have a Steam app, but it's
Well,
just
that's
the
what I mean. If
website.
there's an app for Steam, like sold, because then I can just play it on
I,
wherever I go with my Steam Deck.
and not only the collection, forget about the 1,300 games, but they do their own tournaments. They do their own
Mhm.
challenges. Like they
Yeah.
are able to manipulate the game and like do a challenge of some sort.
Yeah, which is
Oh my,
really cool.
and there are some deep, deep hidden gems in there that you sometimes come across. You're like, I don't even remember this in the arcade, let alone ever
Hmm.
existing. So I get on that when you can, Ann, definitely.
Yes, I definitely will. All right, moving on. You saw the Super Mario Collection book earlier. I'm going to talk about a couple more books that are coming out.
Oh, nerd.
Sorry.
No, do it. What do you got?
But fun books. British publisher Read Only Memory, or ROM.
Oh, oh yes, I like it.
They are celebrating the rise and fall of the music game genre with its latest book, The Oral History of Guitar Hero, Rock Band, and the Music Game Boom.
Oh, wow, that should be interesting.
Yeah, so it's getting a full history. They did interviews with designers and developers of the games. It's a 352-page hardcover book. It's all about music video game history.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. They did crowd it's currently crowdfunding on a site called Volume, which I don't know.
Oh, that's a newer one. Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the like a European
Yeah, I don't know.
version.
Volume?
Uh yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
Volume. Yeah, it's called Volume. It has a goal of 50,000 euro.
Okay.
So the early bird edition of the book is 55, and then the
Oh, wow.
standard version is 60.
Okay. Okay.
So there you go.
Sounds
So
good.
anybody interested in learning about the history of the game genre, there you go.
Someone, I don't know if I think it was Hyperkin, I thought was going to put out like new guitars
That would
because
be
remember
nice.
when on for your birthday, we were there at the arcade and we just fell back in love
Oh
with
yeah.
Piero, but I don't have a guitar anymore. And they go for a good amount of money.
I still have my Rock Band and my guitars.
Oh,
I don't have them out. So whenever you come by, we can always play.
I like it. Done.
All right. Evercade, Larry, two new carts.
Yes, I saw this.
Two new carts coming out this November. They're going to be launching with the Evercade Alpha. So Blaze just revealed they're releasing the Toaplan Arcade 3,
Yep.
which includes Batsugun, Batsugun Special Edition, Fixate, Gokes,
Sure.
Ghox.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say that. Outzone, Truxton 2, and Vimana.
Awesome.
And then the other one, which is going to be Data East Arcade 2, will have B-Wings, Crude Buster, Edward Randy, Express Raider, Joe and Mac Returns, Last Mission, Midnight Resistance, Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory, Shootout, SRD, Super Real Darwin, Trio, The Punch, Never Forget Me, and your personal favorite, Super Burger Time.
All great collection, two great collections. And now with the alpha coming out, because these are the
Mhm.
arcade versions of these games.
Yes,
And to play those on the alpha with actual arcade controls, I'm actually now starting to think about maybe purchasing an alpha just for that.
that is kind of cool. It is
Yeah.
really cool. So
And as always, Evercade, amazing. So
yeah, I
very
know
good stuff.
you're a big fan of the Evercade.
Oh, so good.
Okay, moving on. We got some movie news, which is
What?
interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, two bits. One not so good, one surprisingly interesting. The Street Fighter movie that was announced by
oh,
Legendary,
okay.
the live action one, which is being currently planned, has hit a snag.
Oh,
The directors that had signed on to do the film have dropped out.
boo.
So they walked away. They didn't say it was due to creative differences. It was just a scheduling conflict. So it wasn't that they weren't happy
Hmm.
with what was being
Okay.
produced. So Legendary is currently looking for a new director for the Street Fighter movie, but this may delay the eventual release of it.
All
So we'll see
right.
what
Fair
happens.
enough.
Yeah.
They're gonna get Kristen Crook.
No, I think they maybe the killer in the opening scene.
How dare you?
In the opening
Oh,
scene, I didn't say killer period.
I
In
know.
the
It's very
killer in the opening
Halloween
scene.
like.
Death to Chun-Li. But in other Street Fighter news, and now we're gonna talk about the original Street Fighter Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh, Jim.
Uh-huh. Interesting little bit came out from Capcom. They recently admitted that this Street Fighter movie is still generating millions of yen of profit every year, 30 years later for them.
How?
Don't know.
How
Don't
many
know.
people are buying that on
It
for
was
the movie?
it was originally shot on a $35 million budget. It's
That
reported to have generated
hold on.
what?
That was $35 million, what we saw.
What we saw was $35 million,
32 of it had to be for Jean-Claude Van Damme's cocaine addiction. And that, I'm
probably.
not even joking. That was a fact.
Yes, probably. So it was a $35 million budget. It has generated revenue of over 99 million, and that was before home video release. I mean, 99
Wow.
million. But now they recently came out and said they said it at a recent shareholder meeting. Now, millions of yen isn't a ton of money, but
But it's
still,
still something.
it's still making money 30 years later.
I mean,
That's wild.
these are smart people who definitely want to go back and watch a classic movie. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah, but you know what
Hopefully,
that means? That means though that every year Jean-Claude Van Damme still gets a check for residuals.
he sure does. And he doesn't even remember making the movie.
No, he doesn't, not at all. So I thought that was a interesting little tidbit.
To
Just a
me,
couple
it
other
was a
bits in it.
Tuesday.
It was a
Yes, go ahead.
Tuesday. Lost footage of an Indiana Jones full motion video game appeared online recently.
Really?
Yep. The footage was shown during a 4-hour conversation between Tech Talk host Daniel Albu and a former LucasArts employee, Mike Levine, on YouTube.
Okay.
It was filmed for a canceled game called Indiana Jones and the Iron Phoenix.
Ooh.
So it was a Fate of Atlantis follow-up, it
Oh,
looks
okay.
like. Supposed to take place in 1947. It was going to follow Indiana Jones on a quest to stop a group of former Nazis from using the Philosopher's Stone to resurrect Adolf Hitler.
Oh, wow. Okay, there's a
So
storyline for you.
exactly. But it's just really cool to see some early footage of it. It's kind of like it was going to be released somewhere around the time when, like, Seventh Guest had come out, Wing
Hmm.
Commander, like games were coming out with full motion video, so
Yeah.
they wanted to test it.
Okay.
So they did a test run. George Lucas looked at it, and according to what Mike Levine said in this interview, is that George took one look at it and he said, "This ain't ready for Harrison Ford." And that was the end of it. Because
I
he was gonna use Harrison Ford in the actual game.
I'm sure, but I don't think Harrison Ford would have said yes anyway. They could have backed a buttload of money to his house, and he'd be like, "Who are you? Go away."
Exactly. So just that was just a that's just a
Very
funny little
interesting, though.
touch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it's
interesting.
interesting. All right. So the last bit of news that I want to share comes from Sega.
Sega.
And at one point, they had planned a console that was going to be an all-in-one Sega Genesis 32X home console, and they had called it the Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
They never released it because the 32X turned out to be a big failure. So
Unfortunately, yeah.
they were already working on the Saturn, so they decided let's just cancel the Neptune. However, now this company in Brazil called Games Care,
Hmm.
they're working on a FPGA version of the Sega Neptune. It's going to feature wireless capabilities. It's going to have its own online store where new and exclusive titles will be available for purchase.
Really?
And you're going to be able to link it up to your Sega CD, and it
Wow.
will output in 1080p HDMI. The full reveal for this is going to be on June 30th.
Oh, later this week or next week.
So this week, yeah, so later this week, we're going to be able to see what this is all about. But I'm really, really curious about this one.
Me too. I'm very curious about it because I don't. You have the ability to play 32X. Your Polymega will play 32X, all 7 games,
Correct.
and it
Yes.
will play 32X CD.
Yes, it will.
My analog, I don't know why analog went through the trouble of setting up their Mega SG to hook up to the Sega CD. So my analog is hooked up to the Sega CD, but
Hmm.
I don't know why they could have easily also done a 32X with it, but they didn't. This thing really intrigues me, especially because you can hook it up to the Sega CD as well.
Yeah.
I'm
It
keeping a close eye on
yeah,
this.
so keep an eye on it. It's going to be called the GF1 Neptune.
Okay.
So, and I don't know. I mean, we'll find out if they're planning on just if this is just going to be like a South America release or if it's going to release outside of there. So
Yeah,
we will
definitely.
find out. But
Very cool.
that concludes retro news.
All right, and that will conclude the episode. And one more time, where can they find us?
All right, one more time, you guys can find us on Facebook.com/Retro Gamers Podcast, on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast, on Twitter
X.
at Retro Gamers Pod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube and Spotify at Retro Gamers Podcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
And with that, we will
I
call
had
it
a
a
little
day.
brain fart there.
You you had a moment.
I had a
And
moment.
have a wonderful week.
You have a good week as well.
And we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.